39 present, we do have quorum. The minutes of the meeting 10 were made available to senators. Are there any corrections to this 10th Senate Journal? Hearing none, the Senate Journal is approved as provided. This meeting, we are pleased to have with us in the Senate chamber Mr. Andy Swift and Mr. Larry Holland from the Lubbock Constitutionalist Society. Please welcome to the floor so they may address the Senate.
Well, thank you very much. So I'm Larry Holland, and there's Andy right there. I'm going to ask Andy to give us a word or two here in a few minutes. But I'm a member of a small group here in Lubbock called the Constitutionalist Society. And that's it. We're just Lubbock. That's what we are. And we meet here in town every first and third Monday at the Chicken Run restaurant. We start at about 11:45, order our meal, and then have a presentation on something constitutional. We believe, like the Founding Fathers, that a well-educated electorate is necessary for the perpetuity of our republic. That's why we meet and learn. It is our purpose also to share what we learn. I have had the privilege, or many other members, of speaking in other small venues around Lubbock, civic clubs, LISD classes, Region 17 teacher training. But we really desire a whole lot more of these opportunities. Our organization, small as it is, has been a jumping off point for other organizations around this community, some having state and national influences. Several elected officials have come through our group. Representatives, state senators. We have many, what I could say, political activists in our group, just members that get out and let's just say they walk the block for a candidate. So we may be a little older, but we really want to be of a benefit to our community. Our two organizations met for the first time handing out constitutions on September 17th in the free market or free zone. And the year before, what I remember is you guys had some copies, paper copies of constitutions. And then last year you had much bigger ones. Well, we want to join each other, and that is what we would like to do in more projects like that. That's what we're here to really say is, what can we do to help each other? I'm a local businessman. Andy, he's a PhD from here at Texas Tech. We've had other PhDs in our organization from Texas Tech. Chip Peterson, he's a Texas Tech emeritus, but his area was economics. You might have known Dr. Steve Balch of the Institute of Western Civilization. Another lady named Kathy Chauncey, another PhD. I'm not so sure that she was here at Tech. But definitely, you know, I got my start learning from the Free Market Institute here on the campus with Dr. Benjamin Powell. Andy? Oh, and we've got some business cards and constitutions right up here on the front for anyone that'd like to grab one.
Yeah, thanks. And thanks for the invite. Appreciate it. Make this really swift, so you're supposed to laugh. Okay. Anyway, thanks, Larry. Just to add, yeah, the Constitution that you all handed out last year was very, very impressive. It was nice. We hand out these small pocket constitutions. It's the 250th anniversary of the country this July 4th, so I think it's going to be a fairly big deal in September. It's actually a public law. In the one that we had out on the last page, there's a public law that all educational institutions that receive federal funds have to do something on Constitution Day. So I'm not sure if that was the origins of your doing that, but it was very impressive. So I really don't have a lot to add. I think are we able to take some questions, or are we out of our time?
Absolutely, we may take some questions.
Okay.
Is there any questions from the Senate chamber?
questions for myself or Larry? Yes, sir.
What's your favorite amendment?
My favorite amendment to the Constitution, probably free speech. Without that, you don't have anything else. Yeah.
I'm going to say yes, the First Amendment, because there's 5 freedoms there. The very First Amendment, the freedom of religion.
Good question. Anything else? Yes.
What's been the most eye-opening event that you've participated in?
Ooh, I'm newer to the organization. I'll just speak first, then I'll let Larry speak. We went down and handed out constitutions at the July 4th parade in town. I know school was out then, but that was interesting. That was very interesting. We walked up and down and handed out constitutions, and I was very surprised how many people actually aggressively wanted one that didn't have. They were these small pocket ones.
Yeah, I'm gonna add to that. And to me, a little bit of eye-opening is, we've been handing out constitutions at Texas Tech for quite a number of years. When we first started, it wasn't that popular to get them, but now it feels like there are more and more students saying, yes, I want that. Sometimes George Washington shows up. And we get selfies. Somehow, George is there and I'm gone someplace, so I never got to meet him there.
Yeah, we had a lot of selfies last year. So hopefully we can team up together. I know you have an election coming up shortly, so there'll be new officers in the fall, but maybe we can lay the groundwork to make something happen. We just thought we'd take advantage of this opportunity a little bit earlier in the year. So, anything else critical? Yes, one more
Thank you
question.
guys so much for being here. I just have a quick question. What do you guys hope to accomplish by handing out these constitutions?
Well, on the school campus, it's public law, so which is interesting. And I think just the interest is interesting. And for me, I'm trained as an engineer. I worked at the National Wind. I'm retired professor. I'm emeritus, but I'm over at the National Wind Institute, and I really felt like I didn't understand this well enough, even at my age. I'm not that young, okay, and was in the service and everything. But I really enjoyed kind of learning at a new level. So that's what it was for me. Larry, I'll let you speak for yourself.
Well, again, we hope to teach what we've learned. And I tell you this, y'all teach us, because I am certainly not a constitutional scholar, but I want to learn everything I can and portray that information to others.
Thank you.
Can we please give a round of applause for... At this time, Rule 32, Section 2, the Senate states, any student enrolled in Texas Tech University may address the Student Senate during this time on any given issue for a maximum of 10 minutes. At this time, I would like to recognize any student organizations that wishes to speak. If you do wish to speak on behalf of a student organization, please rise, state your name, your affiliation with an organization.
Can I just go? All right, cool. Sorry, I'm new to this chamber. I'm Henry Carter. I'm here with the Texas.
One moment, can you state your name and your college affiliation?
Oh, Henry Carter Honors College.
Honors College, awesome. If you would like to come to the podium here.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, esteemed senators and Madam President. On February 4th, I was featured on an article outlining censorship by the Texas Tribune. Now, this censorship was on censorship in our classrooms in this university by our current chancellor, Brandon Creighton. Today, you can go grab the most recent Daily Toreador and see at the very top center fold an article detailing how classes were canceled and detrimentally affected our student body. Your body is gifted with the great ability to represent us students. I'm not a member of your body. I tried once and didn't get elected, but that's fine. But you represent us. As you can see, right over here to my left, y'all's right, I think, there are students here actively campaigning to end this censorship and for your body to call out this censorship. That's why I've risen here and shown up today to speak during this time, to call on you and ask you to represent the student body that you asked to get elected by, to hear our voices, the majority of which, I will say, does not approve of this censorship and the attacks on our faculty. You heard earlier from the last speaker the importance of the freedom of speech. I stand with that as well. That freedom of speech extends to our classrooms. So I ask you to support the resolution today, which was 61149. Vote for it. Actually speak out for our student body and the issues that they very much care about. Thank you.
Does any student member wish to address the chamber at this time? One here.
Howdy, I'm Will Fry. I'm with the Media College and the Honors College.
All right, you may address the podium.
Now, some of you might recognize me. I was in student government, FYLA specifically, last year. I helped run the social media accounts, a lot of SGA branded brain rot, as some critics might call it. I would personally call it art and a unique craft. But now I am here, sadly not making art for the student government accounts, but I'm here as a concerned student who wants to give you a few anecdotal messages from me of what I've experienced since the aforementioned memo has taken effect. Last year, the Texas Tech Board of Regents and our new chancellor, Brandon Creighton, passed a memo restricting what professors can and cannot teach in the classroom. There have been a lot of rumors, a lot of politically charged talking points saying many things about this memo. Some say the memo's fine, some say it's the end of American academia, and I just want to give you my own unique experience and what I've experienced from my professors. I am here to give you my perspective not only as a journalism major who attends this class in this very building, but as a journalist who has been covering this story for the past 2 months, working at least 20 hours a week. My obligation is not to a political party, politician, election, anything political. I am far from the most political person you will ever meet. My obligation is only to the truth and finding out where it leads. And I will say, every one of my professors this semester has mentioned the guidelines in class or in private. I was supposed to receive a copy of the exact number of courses affected at Texas Tech under review, but I have been instead ignored, which calls for a complaint to the Attorney General's office in Austin that will have to get involved. The most striking example of the new guidelines in effect has been in my news writing class. Under these guidelines, my professor is not allowed to teach the AP Style Guide. It's the book that teaches journalists how to format articles, everything from news writing to features. Yeah. And that's all it is, a formatting guide. It tells you how to write dates, how to format intro paragraphs, how to reference sources, how to refer to people's titles. I mean, do you say President Lawrence Skuvenek, or do you say just Lawrence Skuvenek, President of Texas Tech? You know, what if he's mentioned multiple times in the article? You get the idea. It tells you how to write news. But my news writing professor is not allowed to teach that book under these new guidelines. And coming from a student, I just have a question, especially as someone who wants to get into journalism after I graduate here. How am I supposed to get hired if I went to a university that doesn't let you learn about news writing? How am I supposed to pull up to X newsroom and say, yeah, sorry, I never was able to learn about that in my curriculum because it was too controversial in my guidelines? I'm gonna be unemployed. I'm not gonna get a job if I show up and don't know how to write the news properly because of these guidelines. Now, I have been working on this for the past 2 months, and I wrote a good bit about some of my findings. I won't say anything I don't know that is 100% true. And so, am I allowed to ask for questions, or no?
At this time, no. However, if a senator would request that.
Yeah, reach out to me if you have questions. I won't get into the details of what I found, especially because a lot of it is circumstantial right now, and I don't want to say anything that's not true. And that's it. Thank you for your time.
Does any other student wish to address the Senate chamber?
Thomas Creamer, College Courses and Business.
Thank you, Mr. Creamer. You have 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes left.
Good evening. I'll try to make this quick, but if you don't know me already, my name is Thomas Creamer. I'm a part of FYC. I'm here today to talk to you about one of our Texas U.S. Senator candidates, James Tallarico. If you didn't know, State Rep Tallarico made an appearance here in Lubbock on Sunday, sorry. And he talked about why he's running, his policies, standpoints, and what he can do to make our state better at the federal level. A little bit about State Representative Tallarico is that he's a former middle school teacher and he's also a Presbyterian seminarian. He currently serves as a Texas State Rep, where he has passed legislation to fund public schools in Texas, lower the cost of childcare, housing, and prescription drugs such as insulin. He is the only U.S. Senate candidate on the ballot that is not bought out by billionaire mega donors or corporations. Instead, his campaign is funded by working class Americans who on average donate less than $100 to his campaign. I honestly did not know who James Tallarico was until this race began between him and Jasmine Crockett. I would see clips of him on social media and posts advertising his campaign. It wasn't until I watched the U.S. Senate Democratic debate between him and Crockett that I knew that he would be the one to lead our state and fight for the working class. His track record in the Texas House proves that. I had the opportunity to meet Mr. Tallarico, and I can first-handedly say that he's a respectable man. He listens and he understands the struggles of the average Texan. The U.S. Senate Democratic primary election is on March 3rd, and it is important that you vote. Your vote is your voice, and that is the only way we can make change happen. If you are interested in learning more about James Tallarico, we do have a group on campus that is volunteering to help his campaign and spread the word about him and why he is running. We will have tables and be passing out flyers in the free speech area from 1 to 4 this upcoming week as election day approaches. If you have any other questions, you can also reach me on Instagram at just Thomas Creamer. And I can give you some more information. I also have flyers, has a QR code about volunteering for his campaign as well. Other than that, thank you so much.
At this time, does anybody else wish to address the Senate? I believe I saw the hand at the back first.
Hi, my name is Amelia Fernandez, and I am not currently here affiliated with a student organization.
Can you restate that, please?
My name is Amelia Fernandez, and I am not here affiliated with a student organization, just here to share personal testimony.
Can you state the college that you're enrolled in?
College of Arts and Sciences, specifically the College of Social Work, Anthropology, and Sociology.
Amazing. You may approach the podium.
Thank you.
You have 3 minutes left on the clock.
Thank you. Hi, all. As I have said before, my name is Amelia Hernandez. My major is social work. I am currently a junior in the College of Arts and Sciences. I just heard about this meeting today, so I shouldn't have a long speech prepared. I simply wanted to share my experiences so far. This is my first semester kind of experiencing the most social work classes that I've had so far, currently taking 3. And in all of these 3 classes, I have experienced 4 separate incidents where a student has asked a question about whether it be gender, sexuality, or immigration that my professor has had to shut down. I, as a social work major, cannot be expected to perform my job, my future job, to the best of my abilities if I do not have all of the information at hand. I paid over $35,000 to get an education here. In my opinion, it is unreasonable that I should have to seek outside sources from this esteemed university to further my education. I cannot be expected to serve the populations that I wish to serve to the best of my abilities if I do not have all of the information at hand. I urge you all to consider repealing this, and I have nothing further to say on my part. Thank you.
There is 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining.
I'll speak. My name is Tara. I'm with Media and Communications.
You may approach the podium. What's your last name, Tara?
Tara Finley.
Finley. Nice to meet you. You may approach the podium.
Hello. My name is Tara Finley. I'm a public relations major with a previous degree in music, a minor in psychology, and a minor in political science. I've been going to TTU for more than 6 years. I was born and raised here in Lubbock and fell in love with the traditions that make this place what it is. I've applied to no other schools because I wanted to march in the Goin' Band, and this was the school that has served my community my entire life. TTU is a public institution. It serves the local community and is meant to educate every American citizen in the field of their choosing, regardless of background or belief. Chancellor Creighton's actions have made me and my peers feel unwelcome, and it shakes the foundation of this university as a reputable institution. Chancellor Creighton appeared on local news outlets and stated that students who want to study topics such as those listed in his memorandum should not come to Texas Tech. And I wonder if he would say that to a first-gen college student who is here on a scholarship, living with their parents, working a full-time job while still getting their education. Would he say that to a junior or senior with barely a year left in their studies, whose classes have been canceled? Or perhaps to a student who just paid their tuition for a class that has been gutted? What about a Lubbock local who wants to get their education here so they can invest it back into their community that raised them? This policy will drain the local community of talent, ill-prepare students for the workforce, and alienate our fellow Red Raiders. Professors are not pundits, they are not politicians. They
Ms.
have
Finley, your time is up.
Thank you.
At this time, we will proceed from open forum. Senator Alessio.
Point of parliamentary inquiry, can we suspend the rules of the Senate to add more time to the open forum?
You may. Do I have a motion to suspend? Senator Hernandez. By how long?
You have to make the motion.
You have to make the motion.
5 minutes.
It has been moved. Do I have a second? It has been moved and seconded by Senator Joyce to add more time to the open forum by 5 minutes. This motion is debatable. Debate must stay within the merits of the motion. To extend debate or extend discussion is unamendable and requires a majority vote. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of extending discussion, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
No.
Ayes have it. Motion passes. There is 5 minutes left on the clock. Ms. Finley, would you like to continue?
I definitely won't take up the rest of the 5 minutes. Professors are not pundits. They are not politicians. They have trained their whole professional career so that they can give back to the community by giving students a well-rounded education that allows them to think critically and exposes them to diverse viewpoints. If anyone knows what's good for the students, it's the teacher. If anyone knows what's good for the school, it's the teacher. And if anyone knows what's good for career development, it is the teacher. And I implore you to let them teach. Please vote yes to Senate Resolution 61149. I also wanted to point out that there is a candidate representing us in this cause, Malik Williams, for House District 83. Thank you so much.
Does any other student wish to address the chamber at this time? Yes.
My name is Adrian Starks, and I'm with the College of Health and Human Sciences.
You may approach the podium.
Hello. I won't take up much of your time. I'm a HDFS major, and it's my first year, and I feel like I kind of came to the school at a really odd time, you know, because a lot of my classes are actively being censored. Last semester, my professor had to change her rubric, and she had to like change around what she was saying, and she couldn't answer students' questions, and students couldn't ask certain questions or them be answered. And now my professor, her class is about to be gutted at this point, and it's mandatory. What am I supposed to do there? It's a class that I have to take to graduate, and they're threatening my professor with cutting it. It's a class that a lot of people have to take to graduate. Gender development from a lifespan perspective, it's mandatory. And so I really do implore you to vote yes. It's really important to students, and if they want to keep their retention rates up, they should probably let students learn what they want to learn. That's all I got.
Is there any other student that would like to address the chamber at this time? Seeing none, we should proceed to executive reports. Graduate Vice President Christian Gonzalez was not able to make it with us tonight as he is working with the Rawls College. So on behalf of GVP Gonzalez, he is doing graduate town hall meeting. Graduate students should have received an email last week as to when this is happening. It is happening at from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. in the Graduate Center, and there is a Zoom link that is available via that email that was sent out to graduate students. So if you receive that email, please attend. It's going to be an amazing time. You may ask questions, and there will be some questions that are being answered by graduate administration at that time. At this time, please welcome External Vice President Bobby Stevens.
Hi everybody, I hope you're having a good week. So I first want to kick it off with my quote, which is from Lin-Manuel Miranda. It's about planting seeds in a garden that you'll never see. You're gonna get some awesome news from our wonderful chief of staff in a few minutes. Is a testament to our persistence as a body and showcases that the hard work that you put in does not go for granted, and everything you do is worth something. You just gotta do it. With that being said, here are some things that you can do. On April 11th, we'll have our TLC day. Any organization who would like to participate, please feel free to reach out to me. My contact information is right there. That's my phone number and my email. More to follow on that as well. More volunteer opportunities. We have our weekly tabling and then our Safety Week events. Would you mind changing the slide? So Safety Week is our next Senate meeting, or the week of our next Senate meeting, and we will have events all throughout the week. The events that are still open are our SGA member trainings with UMC. This is a really awesome event, guys. It's open to first years, ambassadors, senators. Anybody can come. Actual paramedics from UMC are going to come and train you how to do CPR, first aid stuff. It's going to be really cool. There's no volunteerism required. Just come show up and learn some stuff for your community. The other event is tabling with University Recreation for Bike Tune-Up. We're going to be handing out some cool merch with the rec center, and it's going to be really fun. Thank you. Our final one is the safety walk after our Senate meeting. Next Senate meeting after we get done at 8 p.m. Members who sign up will be dismissed, and we'll go walk the campus at night to check and see how it looks, see what areas need to be lit up more, and we're going to do that with faculty and staff senates. We're going to have a lot of fun. I hope to see you there. Make sure to sign up, and that's all I got. Have a good one, guys.
Next, please welcome Ryan Cavazos on behalf of Student Body President Faith Geisweit.
Good afternoon, everyone. Always a pleasure to see your beautiful and handsome faces today, and welcome our guests. Thanks for being here. So this is a message on Faith's behalf today because she couldn't make it. And so it starts with, over the past couple of weeks, there's been meaningful progress for our students, and I'm excited to share a few updates. First, the university officially announced today that Texas Tech will be implementing a fall break beginning in fiscal year 2027. It will consist of 2 days in the month of October. An email was sent this afternoon to all students, staff, and faculty, so if you have not yet had the opportunity to review it, please check your inbox. This is a significant win for students and a direct reflection of years of student government work and the 61st session's work and commitment to this topic. Senate Resolution 6116 laid the groundwork for this conversation, and your advocacy played a real role in moving this forward. Thank you for your time, your persistence, and your dedication to improving the student experience at Texas Tech. Additionally, Big 12 on the Hill was a tremendous success. We had the opportunity to meet with Secretary of Agriculture Brooke Rollins and several members of Congress, including staff from Congressman Morgan Luttrell's office and Congressman Jody Arrington's office, Judge Carter, and even more. We were even given a Capitol tour one evening by Congressman Moore himself. These conversations centered on affordability in higher education, research, and the future of our students, and Texas Tech was well represented. I send my regards for not being present, as I am currently in Dallas at the Board of Regents meeting and presented this morning on topics including quantum AI research initiatives and the success of the addition of a Spanish healthcare minor, among other university advancements. I am looking forward to being back in Lubbock and in person with all of you in the coming days. And here, there are a few more reminders from Faith as well. The executive candidate debate is tomorrow evening. We hope to see you there as we continue encouraging civic engagement and strong participation in student leadership. Also, Election Commissioner Addison Bonning sent out an email regarding tabling opportunities inside the student union on Election Day. If you are interested in signing up, please refer to that email for details. Joint Congress will be in Lubbock on March 7th. Please utilize the link sent in an email last week to RSVP for Joint Congress. If you would like to discuss specific topics, please reach out to me or Madeline. And that is all for Faith's behalf. Thank you guys very much, and go SGA.
Proceeding to judicial reports, seeing as there are none today, we shall proceed forward to the remarks of the president. So hello everyone, this is just a couple reminders from me today. 3 meetings left in the semester, so I know this went by really quickly, and it's crazy to think that we have 3 meetings left. It's moving by very quickly, so please remain vigilant of point requirements as we move forward. If you have any questions, as always, there is my QR code to take a time to meet with me. I will help you come up with any legislative ideas, anything of that nature to help you satisfy your point requirements, as well as congratulatory pieces. I know there's been some senators, we have scoured the Texas Tech website, found some things that they can write on, and congratulate our TTU staff, faculty, and students on everything that they've been doing. Next is outreach and community service opportunities. Please make sure that you're taking advantage of Bobby's opportunities that he is providing. It's an amazing way to get involved. As always, there is Wednesday tabling. If you foresee a different time that works better for you to table, feel free. You can table in your college, you can table in the sub. Just let me or Bobby know. We'll make sure that you have all the equipment that you need, all the supplies, the tablecloth, and make sure that you get situated, whether it's in your college or at the student union building, so that you can table. You can table on behalf of any of the pieces that you're doing, any initiatives that we're working on, or any of the departments that we collaborate with. So please remain vigilant of that as we proceed forward. Just want to touch on election tabling as well. Brian mentioned it on behalf of Faith. There will be election tabling in the student union building next week. Please refer to the email that Chairwoman Boning sent out to you guys for the sign-up link. As I've cleared it so that it can be counted as an outreach point. Please remain aware that it is happening in the sub. This is not campaigning in the sub. If you are working on campaigning that day, all campaign materials must be covered in order for you to work the table. And so that is an available opportunity to all of you. And next, we have our banquet coming up. I'm excited to announce that the RSVPs will be sent out tomorrow morning via email. And so please make sure that you're RSVPing there for that on April 17th. Additionally, we have the graduating SGA member form. So at our banquet, we recognize SGA members that have been serving SGA, whether that's 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, or all 4 years. Even our graduate students as well that have been serving throughout it. So if you are graduating, whether that is this May, this August, or this December, please make sure to fill that out. Provide us with a cute little picture of you guys and your graduation photos or a headshot, so that we may recognize you, give you your stole at the banquet that you can wear across the stage whenever you walk. Other than that, that is all I have. I just want to take a moment to also get a round of applause for our fall break, as that has been an incredible initiative that we've Give a shout out to Senator Mel for front-loading that for us for our faculty and Senate liaison. He's been laying a lot of that groundwork for us on that half. So let's give him a round of applause. As always, we are here for something greater and much greater than ourselves. As one unified body, we work to empower every Red Raider through leadership, advocacy, and community. With intentional representation and a spirit of innovation, we leave a legacy of excellence that shapes the future of Texas Tech. As always, we remain standing on that. This is something you created at the beginning of the semester, and for the next 3 meetings, it's something that will be reigning true as we continue. We shall proceed forward to committee reports. At this time, I would like to recognize the Rules and Administration Committee to deliver the special committee report on Senate Resolution 61.131. Senator Villegas.
The Rules and Administration Committee met over the break for Senate Resolution 61.131. Senator Villegas and myself, I proposed multiple amendments and provided that to Senator Baker, the author. We also brainstormed a way to send out surveys to current senators to improve the piece. Senator Baker will withdraw this piece and work on a new piece with better verbiage and more clear conclusion. That is what the report was about. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, we shall proceed to committee reports. When your committee is called, the chair, vice chair, or committee member that is designated to present the report will rise and give a brief summary of the report, ensuring to touch on any key issues of which they wish to be addressed. We shall start alphabetically, starting with college committees, and proceed to standing committees throughout them. First on the committee report list, Arts and Sciences. Senator Baker.
Okay, for Arts and Sciences, we're still working on our town hall, and then we're working on different pieces of
you. Next is at-large. Yes, Senator Joyce, please make sure whenever you are speaking, apologies, you are speaking very loudly so that way we can pick it up on the transcribe for Melanie.
At-large is still working on getting back into our regular groove of making meetings and then finding our initiative for our action piece this year.
Thank you, Davis.
The Davis College met with the dean. We discussed a lot of new initiatives coming forward with our honors banquet in regards to getting students engaged with the new building that we are constructing and a program that we are going to hopefully raise a little bit more money for the college against the wall.
Thank you. Education.
College of Education is working on making merch for the students and then also planning our dean meeting for the spring.
Graduate.
With the community have been doing a lot of work with student organizations. We have been meeting student organizations, providing them resources and also giving them up with what's available on campus. And we're also standing up to meet the team in the next few weeks.
Thank you. Honors.
In our committee meeting, we talked about legislation to increase visibility for the Honors College with incoming applicants and just across campus in general, trying to get a more general view for all student body.
Thank you. Architecture.
I had an idea. I know it's a problem that I've experienced and also other my peers have said, but in the men's restroom, there's no urinal dividers and they're super close. So just the idea of maybe implementing that to the building. And then I emailed my dean to set up a meeting, and he then referred me back to another person I could see email, but setting up those meetings. And then I'm gonna be making a questionnaire for students to see any problems that they might have or any new ideas that SGA could do for the kids.
Thank you. Doing the good work for the architecture students. Human Sciences.
So we are meeting with our dean on Monday to just talk about initiatives and legislation that is going to be coming up. So talking about adding a concentration in the health and human sciences. So yeah.
Thank you. Law.
Hey guys, so our main priority at our last meeting was coordinating for tabling at the law school specifically. So we got to table yesterday, and then today we got to table and we were joined by graduate Vice President Krishna as well, so that was very nice. And then we also got our meeting with our dean set up for March 4th at noon, so we're very excited about that as well.
Thank you. Media and Communications.
The College of Media and Communications is creating new legislation to potentially create an experiential learning hub for students, giving them an online simulation that helps them to interact with whatever major or industry they're trying to go into. And for Old Business, we are currently on the road to creating a meeting with our dean regarding the legislation that was passed last week, along with discussion over curriculum changes and the censorships that's been going on here at Texas Tech and to the chancellor.
Thank you. Rawls.
Hey everyone, Rawls has continued building on legislative ideas from last semester. We've discussed academic integrity initiatives, and we currently have a meeting with the dean planned on April 8th.
Thank you. And lastly, College of Engineering. Whitaker.
So the College of Engineering had some second reading discussion on Senate Resolution 61.142. Senator Riddens, who's not here today, satisfied all her point requirements in full. However, due to technical issues with TechNet, the form was not properly submitted, so upon being notified of the matter, Senator Riddens promptly responded to the email providing documentation demonstrating full compliance and good faith effort. Despite the timely response and supporting evidence, she received no further communication or acknowledgement. Additionally, the majority of the engineering senators are in agreement that Senator Riddens should not be censured as she earned all required points. And then we're also trying to work on free printing for the College of Engineering and getting engineering tutoring.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Proceeding forward to standing committees. Academics. Budget and Finance. Yes, Senator Joy.
The Budget and Finance Committee, again, has been hard at work with our budget process. So again, as you know, almost 300 orgs applied for funding. We gave all of them an initial interview, determined our allocation. I gave you that out at the last meeting. We just finished our appeals process. The committee met on Sunday night to finalize our appeals decisions. And obviously, we have now finished the appropriations bill, and it is on first reading this week. Just another big shout out to all the members of the Budget Finance Committee. Let's get a round of applause for how much work they've done.
Campus infrastructure.
We discussed lighting, sustainability and safety. We started a piece on that later today. And then we have the safety walk as well after next meeting. We're gonna try to have as many of our senators there as possible, just kind of get a better eye for the lighting around campus. I know that's been something we've talked about a lot this session. We've had several people come during open forum to talk about it. Just kind of keeping an eye on that and keep your eyes peeled for that in the future. Yeah.
Thank you. Rules and administration.
The Rules and Administration Committee met on Monday evening, 8 p.m. We discussed our special report that we just gave. We also are going to be updating absences, and we will be sending out membership dues at our next scheduled meeting, so make sure you are responding to us or you will be impeached. And then for second reading discussion, we discussed the centerpiece that was sent to second reading. The committee unanimously decided to remove Senator Algura from the piece, as well as subpoena Supreme Court documents, providing support for everyone else still on the piece. And that was all.
Thank you. Public relations.
I can talk about relations. So during our meeting, we just, for old business, we are continuing to work on Senator headshot photos, and y'all probably saw the Google form about Senator Spotlight as well. And then we discussed second order for merchandise. And for new business, the first round of Senator Spotlights is going to be posted soon, so keep your eye out for that.
Awesome. Thank you. Student life. First year engagement. Senator Sweden.
So FYC and FYLA had a really good mixer. We played basketball, got to know each other really well. We're planning a community service event for our FYLAers, and then also reaching out regarding attendance and getting points and finding ways to make sure that all our FYLA interns get their points before the end of the semester. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Freebalker.
The FYE event was definitely a success, like Sarah just said. I think that our FYE members really liked the basketball. That's what they seem to say, but that went really well. And then additionally, since we didn't get the opportunity to do the kind of mentorship program with FYC and senators, we are going to be doing a meeting where we have some senators come and speak. I know that Brooke talked about this a couple weeks ago, but again, if you're interested in coming to speak to FYC, just kind of, talking about what you've done as a senator and encouraging them, kind of teaching them more about it, reach out to either me or Brooke Reitner.
Thank you. Inclusion. Senator Baker.
We're working on doing more community service and non-state standards so that we do not conduct work. And we're trying to get more funding for different student work because as you know, sometimes legislation take time to finance with that state level. So just ensuring that the different student works have the same amount of funding so we can send their students to different conferences or resource fairs to make sure that they're as productive as they would be.
Thank you. And lastly, sustainability. Senator Cervantes.
We have begun drafting our communities for paper recycling during finals at the SUB, and we got proposing the idea of sending out a survey to get comments and ideas from the students on sustainability issues.
Thank you. That is all for committee reports. We shall proceed to routine motions and other business. At this time, if you are a new senator and you have yet to be sworn in, please rise. Do we have any new senators? Seeing none, is there any other routine motions and other business on the floor? Senator Villegas.
The Rules and Administration Committee has ruled that the agenda is out of order. Senate Bill 61.03 should be placed on line 1 under first reading discussions.
Thank you. Senate bill has been reordered to top of the first reading agenda. Please be aware of this. Is there any other routine motions and other business? Senator Baker.
Madam President, I move to withdraw Senate Resolution 161.131 from the packet. I feel the piece completely and come back with more.
Thank you. Senator Baker has asked for permission to withdraw her piece from the docket and from the floor. Do I have a second? It has been moved and seconded. Shall we allow Senator Baker to withdraw her piece? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, please say no. Ayes have it. This piece has been withdrawn and removed from the packet. Senator Joyce.
Madam President, I move to suspend the standing rules in the Senate that require all legislation be read 3 times.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Hernandez to suspend the standing rule that requires all legislation to be read 3 times. Therefore, we can skip second reading and proceed to pass on to third reading and final passage. This motion is undebatable, unamendable, and requires a majority vote. All those in favor? Senator Richard.
Just a point of question. Would this also be applied to 61.148?
If it is under our first reading docket, it can be placed on to third reading and final passage if this passes. Senator Hernandez.
Wait, so this is like, we can talk about this?
No, you cannot. This is undebatable, yes. All those in favor of suspending, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no.
No.
All those opposed, please signify by raising your hands. Let the record show 4. All those abstain, please raise your hand. Let the record show 1 and abstain. The rest are in affirmative. 3 abstains. Let the record show 3 abstains. Thank you. Seeing that this is a majority in favor, motion passes. The rule is suspended. Is there any other routine motions and other business at this time? Amazing. We shall proceed to first reading. If the gallery would like the pieces of resolution, Senator Joyce will be placing it on the chair here. That way you may follow along in the pieces as well. Senate resolutions. Senate Bill 61.03.
Madam President, I rise to introduce Senate Bill 61.03, stating the sentiments of the bill to be entitled the fiscal year 26-27 appropriations bill in the first reading.
You may.
So again, this is the result of the work from the Committee on Budget and Finance. This is our annual appropriations bill approving funding for these student organizations. As I'm sure you can all kind of see it, it's pretty standard. I'm trying to get to our final numbers, sorry. We allocated in total, as it stands right now, it's a lot of pages, sorry. $398,378 to undergraduate orgs and $90,422 to graduate orgs. Again, this is a big part of the student experience and promoting all the students on campus. That way their different interests or things like that can be fulfilled. So with that, Madam President, I move to place Senate Bill 61.03 on the second reading and be sent to all committees.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Richard to place Senate Bill 61.03 onto second reading and sent to all committees. Because this is a second reading piece, it is undebatable, unamendable, and requires a 2/3 majority vote for being the appropriation bill. Please vote in the polls. Please vote in the polls. Voting in the affirmative, motion passes. Senate Resolution 61.148. Senator Richard.
Madam President, I rise to introduce Senate Resolution 61.148, stating the sentiments of the Student Senate regarding the need for safety and sustainability via a reformed lighting across campus. May I first put it?
You may.
Hello everyone, it's good to see everybody in here and welcome to our guests who are not normally in the chamber with us. If you don't know me, my name is Sarah Richard. I am one of the College of Health and Human Sciences senators, and this piece was designed based on one of the students who came to Student Senate, if we remember last semester, Mr. Cameron Burke. He approached the Senate asking us for help with the lighting and safety concerns across campus. Over the winter break, I met with this student and he gave me a lot of really insightful information, not just of the lighting itself, but of where we can improve with less lighting and better quality lighting. A lot of the things that he told me about were opportunities like solar powering, putting the lights on timers, and changing a lot of the LED bulbs from LED to this new warmer bulb, which would increase a lot of health benefits for students. I then met with the VP of Operations, and I also had Faith and Mr. Gunn at that meeting. It was
really a great meeting. There was a lot of collaboration efforts, and this piece is going to be just the formal writing version of everything that we talked about in that meeting. But during our safety walk next Senate meeting, we will be looking for a place to test these new ideas for lighting, probably around a residence hall. And it's really an insightful thing because we also discovered that we might have too many lights in certain areas. So with that, Madam President, I move to place Senate Resolution 61.148 on third reading and final passage.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Cervantes to place Senate Resolution 61.148 onto third reading and final passage. This motion is debatable, amendable to the second degree, and requires a majority vote to pass. Is there any discussion on this resolution? Seeing none, please vote in the polls. Missing one. 42 in the affirmative, motion passes. Senate Resolution 61.149, Senator Hernandez.
Madam President, I rise to introduce Senate Resolution 61.149, stating the sentiments of the Student Senate regarding the impacts of the course content oversight and review policy. May I approach the podium?
You may.
Hello, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I am Senator Andrew Hernandez, and this is a piece that I have been working on with Senator Zoe Whittakin. So without further ado, I will start introducing this piece. So I'm speaking on a resolution that reflects student concerns about the course content oversight and review policy and its potential long-term impact on the university community. At the heart of this conversation is academic freedom, a principle that has long been central to higher education. Academic freedom is what allows professors to teach effectively, students to explore ideas, and classrooms to become places where critical thinking grows. The policy introduced in December 2025 has raised concern among students and faculty about how course content and classroom discourse may be affected because it has placed limitations on what can be discussed inside the classroom. Many students worry that increased oversight of course content could make professors feel unsure about what they can teach. When people feel unsure, they may avoid certain topics. If that happens, students may miss out on hearing different viewpoints, which is an important part of learning and developing critical thinking skills. A recent student survey showed that 49% of undergraduate students at Texas Tech know about this policy, and of those students, 74% said that they disagree with the level of oversight. No matter where people stand on the issue, this shows that students care and want their voices heard. Students also understand how much the university depends on its faculty. Professors are the people who teach our classes, mentor students, and drive research. Because of this policy, many faculty members have expressed uncertainty about their future at Texas Tech. In a survey shared within faculty groups, over 70% of professors reported that they are actively applying for positions at other universities, and more than 95% that they believe this policy could negatively affect faculty recruitment. Even the possibility of losing experienced professors can affect students through fewer course options, larger class sizes, and fewer research opportunities. Additionally, there are also early concerns about graduate programs, since graduate students often choose universities based on research freedom and faculty mentorship. If faculty leave or feel limited in their work, graduate enrollment and research output could be affected over time. And even though the spring 2026 admission cycle is still underway, there is an expected decrease in graduate enrollment, and the course content oversight and review policy is likely the reason, because graduate students don't want to be limited on what they can learn or research. It should also be considered that faculty, specifically in the humanities, social sciences, and biology departments, have started applying to positions at other universities according to the survey completed by the faculty. Because Texas Tech is a Tier 1 research institution and is focused on becoming an association of American universities, it is imperative that we retain professors and boost our graduate admissions. The AAU reviews a university in many aspects for potential member status, and one of those requirements include faculty publications. This would make future membership even harder to achieve if our most decorated faculty are applying to other universities or considering leaving Texas Tech. This issue also connects to Texas Senate Bill 37, which gives universities authority to review curriculum, but also says academic freedom should be protected. This resolution respectfully asks the university to make sure the policy closely follows the requirements of the law. Therefore, be it resolved that the Student Senate of Texas Tech University implores the university to revise its course content oversight and review policy to ensure that review processes are narrowly tailored to meet explicit requirements of Texas Senate Bill 37 and do not subject broad academic areas to scrutiny. And therefore, be it resolved that the university formally reaffirm its commitment to academic freedom by clarifying that lawful instruction on any topic remains permissible when presented in an academic and non-advocatory manner, consistent with pre-existing disciplinary standards. Madam President, I move to send Senate Resolution 61.149 onto third reading and final passage.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Alessio to place Senate Resolution 61.149 onto third reading and final passage. This motion is debatable, but debate must stay within the merits of the resolution, is amendable to the second degree, and requires a majority vote to pass. Is there any discussion on the current resolution? Senator Mao.
Okay, hi everybody. This is going to be a long one, but firstly, I'm here not only as a student, but I am also the faculty and staff liaison. I've heard this exact conversation for probably 4 months now. And I'm in the rooms where these conversations are being had. But firstly, I want to say I commend the authors for wanting to attack this battle here. It's very honorable, and I completely agree with you. You do not want to attack. You do not want to restrict, academic freedom. But I'm asking you to vote no on this resolution. And because the instinct that we have is right here, the target is completely wrong. Okay? Now, first, the resolution points a picture that this university is in chaos over this right now, but that's simply not the truth. In the meetings of the faculty senate, we actually had Vice Provost Genevieve Durham, the Cicero, who is the faculty extension of the provost office, tell us that of the 8,250 courses that are taught here at Tech, over 7,300 of them have been submitted for review already, and that was in January. That was the review process. If these faculty are leaving, they're not submitting these courses for review. If they're looking to go somewhere else, they're not doing that. So they've already been reviewed. There's about 1,000 in there that have a bunch of other reasons that aren't necessarily related to this, but that's a point to be made that there are at least some people, and that's why I think there is some merit here. Now, yeah, the faculty were initially frustrated, but they are working with the provost office, our local administration, to screen their syllabi, get their classes cleared, and move forward. And of course, this is a messy system. This is not an easy process because look where the policy came from. It came from up above, and it was like a sticky note that they got that said, "Hey, figure this out," from the chancellor and the actual state government. Our local administration agrees that this is a hard process, but we have to be legal. We have to follow the law. And so, regardless of our standpoint, we're gonna have to work with the faculty, and they're our friends.
Point of order, Cooper Mao has gone over his debate limit.
Point of order, no he hasn't, it's 3 minutes, or 2.
It's 3.
It's 3.
It's 3 minutes.
It's 3 minutes. You have a minute remaining.
Please proceed.
So if we pass this resolution that says we're going to attack how the university is implementing this, we're directly stabbing our faculty in the back. Because as you know, the faculty are opposed to this. But they're trying their best to make it work in the system that they're given. I agree, we should not be sending this to our deans, we should not be sending this to the actual faculty people. This should be a direct comment to the chancellor, not to this. I have plenty of questions, and I absolutely agree with academic freedom, but this resolution is misdirected for friendly fire. This is not the hill that our Senate should die on, and these are not the people that we should be fighting. I urge you to vote no. If you have more questions about the faculty senate, I'm happy to answer them. I have full meeting reports from them. Thank you.
Senator Sweden.
Hi everyone, my name is Sarah Sweden. I'm a senator for the Rawls College of Business. I stand in favor of this piece. I I want to talk about what this policy actually means for students, especially pre-med students and natural science students like me. In pre-med, we study natural issues. We talk about health disciplinaries, race and medicine, low-income communities, ethics and research, and how different backgrounds affect patient care. This is not about political topics. These are medical realities. If professors feel like their lectures or discussions could be reviewed or flagged, they may start avoiding certain topics. Even the law allows them to teach it. The fears of the review can cause self-censorship, and this is what happens to our education when it becomes limited. That directly affects students preparing for medical school. Medical students are expected to understand complex social and scientific issues. They expect us to think critically and have open discussions. If our professors feel silenced, then we lose that training. This also impacts low-income students, students of color, first-generation students, and students from different backgrounds. For many of us, the classroom is where we learn how research connects to our communities. If those conversations disappear, so does our part for learning experiences. We also have to remember something important. Faculty and staff do not have voting power here. We do. If 73% of surveyed professors are applying somewhere else and graduate applications are already dropping, that should concern us. Professors drive research. They write us recommendations. They bring us funding. If they leave, students lose opportunities. And if people start seeing Texas Tech as a place where course content is heavily monitored, top professors and students may choose other universities. This resolution is not against our state law. It simply asks the universities to limit oversight to what the law actually requires and clearly support academic freedom. We are the only body in this room that can formally speak for our students. We are elected to make change when it matters, and this matters. I urge you to vote in favor of this Senate resolution. Thank you.
Madam President, can I respond to Senator Matt?
One moment, Senator Joyce.
Madam President, I move to suspend the standing rules of the Senate that put limits on number of times senators may debate.
Do I have a second? It has been moved and seconded by Senator Baker to limit debate to the number of times debate to be unlimited. This motion is undebatable, is amendable to only the time of which we can limit or unlimit, and requires a majority vote. All those in favor of limiting debate, please say aye. Apologies, Senator Joyce.
Yeah.
Making debate unlimited.
Yeah.
There we go. All those in favor of making
Madam
debate
President,
unlimited.
parliamentary court.
Yes.
Two things. Is this only the time, or is this the amount of
My motion was for the amount of
The amount.
times.
time that we can debate?
Yes,
But
sir.
it would still be within 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Yes, sir.
Okay.
To make a clarification here, you could still have the limit of debate for 3 minutes each debate. However, you are not limited by the times that you can debate on this current motion. Is there any questions I can clarify? Senator Reiniger.
Point of personal privilege, given that it's 7:04, FYE members may dismiss.
FYE, you may be dismissed. Please proceed quietly. Is there any questions on the motion to extend limits of debate? Seeing none, all those in favor of extending debate, please say aye.
Aye.
All of us, please say no. Ayes have it, debate is extended. You have an unlimited number of amount of debates, however, your time is still limited to 3 minutes per debate. Is there any discussion? Senator Akinyeye.
Hello, everybody. I am Senator Akinyeye, Senator of College of Media and Communications. I am also a journalism major and is a student here at our college, right here. And I vote in favor of this piece because, as a journalist, I am also in a news writing class, and one of our professors is not actually able to teach us the core curriculum that is at hand because of this thing that the chancellor has come up with. How are we, as journalists, going to be able to graduate from the school and have the proper ethics and understanding of what it means to properly, inform the public and let them know about news if certain studies and core curriculum is being censored? Also, our First Amendment literally backs up freedom of speech, which means that should be incorporated into our education. And if we, the people of the United States, are not given the opportunity to truly be able to understand and vocalize things that are happening within our community, how are we going to be able to properly help our constituents or even be a well-functioning member of society when we graduate from college and actually become a working citizen of the United States? I am, as a journalist student, I need to know about marginalized communities. It does not matter if you agree with them or not. You have to recognize that people are human beings, and we all impact each other, whether or not of America, the future of our generation, Gen Z, all of us sitting here right now, we have the right to understand and know about the things that are currently affecting us, not just politically, but also culturally and on a grand scale. It's not just about it being on the student level or on the national level. This is a global issue, and this is something that should not be censored. So I vote in favor of this piece. And if you want to protect the legitimacy of freedom of speech, choice, and the right to be able to understand the curriculum that is at hand so you can become a well-equipped and knowledgeable person in this society, I urge that you vote yes on this piece.
Senator Hernandez, you are the maker of the motion. You have the floor.
Yeah, I just wanted to address a couple of the concerns that were brought up. I understand that, we may not be in chaos right now. How long before we do fall into chaos? There are professors who are afraid to speak up in their classrooms, who are afraid to teach on certain topics that need to be taught. I mean, just as our very own Will Fry suggested, he can't even learn how to be a journalist properly. How is he supposed to go into the job market when he's not getting the proper training, getting the proper education? That completely renders a degree from Texas Tech useless. That's what we're arguing here. We're not in chaos right now, but we can be, and that's what it can become. So it's a precaution. It's protecting us. It's protecting the students. It's protecting our faculty. It's protecting the goals of the university to become an AAU research institution. None of that can happen if we don't try to stand up right now. For the point that we're sending it to the wrong people, I'm more than happy to make an amendment and send it to Chancellor Creighton himself. That's fine. We can do that. But if that's the only argument against it, just because we're not in chaos right now doesn't mean that it's not a valid thing that we should be looking into right now.
Senior Parliamentarian Joyce.
I'm going to rise in favor of this piece. I'm a political science minor, and I'm taking 2 political science classes right now, and my professors have vocalized that they're afraid to speak on certain issues. How am I supposed to learn political science if my professors can't talk about hot-button political issues that are facing our country today? That's inherently designed in that curriculum. Some things, although we might not agree with them, academic freedom is really important. And being able to have discussions. It doesn't mean that you have to force your views on somebody else, or that professors have to force their views on students, or that they are. Just having the ability to do those classes, to be able to speak freely on these subjects, and engage in research and other academic conversations that promote the knowledge of our human race.
Senator Whittican.
So I obviously rise in favor of the line of it, but I just wanted to say about the sending it to the wrong people. The reason that we included the deans on that list is because part of when the materials that a professor has had to submit for their course content review, it's reviewed first by their department chair, and then the deans of their college, and then the provost, and then the board of regents and the chancellor. So we thought that including the deans would be a great step so that they could just know that this is the student opinion on it. I know that the deans don't really have any power over changing this, but they should just be made aware.
Senator McCall.
Madam President and fellow senators, I rise in opposition to Senate Resolution 61.149, not because academic freedom is unimportant, but because the conclusions in this resolution go beyond the evidence provided. The resolution relies on survey data, yet we have not been given key information about the methodology, including sample size, response rate, or margin of error. Without that information, we cannot determine whether the results truly represent the broader faculty or student body. The resolution itself states that one survey was passed through faculty groups, suggesting participation may have been voluntary rather than randomly selected. That limits how broadly those findings can be applied. We are also told that 73.1% of professors are applying elsewhere, but we are not told how many faculty responded or how this compares to normal academic mobility patterns. Senate Bill 37 is state law. Public universities in Texas are required to comply with it. The chancellor and administration have a legal responsibility to align university policy with state law. Compliance with state law is government, not censorship. Finally, if only 49% of surveyed undergraduates were aware of the policy, that alone should caution us against drawing broad conclusions about campus-wide sentiment. As senators, we have a responsibility to base institutional statements on verified evidence, complete data, and full context. This resolution makes strong claims without presenting that level of support. I believe Chancellor Creighton has acted within his legal duty to ensure compliance while maintaining the strength and stability of this institution. Under his leadership, Texas Tech continues to pursue Tier 1 excellence and national competitiveness. I'm proud to be a Red Raider under leadership that prioritizes institutional stability, responsibility, and long-term success. And for those reasons, I cannot support this resolution. Thank you.
Senator Duke.
Hi. So I rise in favor of this resolution. As a of course, I'm so proud to be a Red Raider. I'm about to graduate. I'm so proud to say that I will be an alumni in a few months. But we cannot have university. We cannot have a chancellor who is specifically picking out courses that you can and cannot take. That is not what academia is. And even for quote-unquote uncomfortable or controversial topics, academia and academics is controversial. Sometimes you have to feel a little uncomfortable to learn. That is how we progress as people and as a society. And when it gets to a point where everything, even I'm a biology major, where even biology and natural science is being affected. I just learned 2 hours ago from a fellow student that they had to skip the human sex chromosome lesson in their biology class. X and Y chromosomes that determines whether you are born male or female. The very basis of biology and us as humans having to skip that in a course, that is unacceptable. So even though, yes, we may not be in chaos, even though we may not feel anything or, oh, not a lot of people knew about this, people will know. We have evidence right here. We have evidence from people that came and told us about how they were affected by their major. They shouldn't have to, no one should have to look to another university just because they want to study something specific. Tech is for everyone. Tech is Tech is full of first-gen students. This is coming from someone who is the daughter of an immigrant who's mixed, sorry, I was very nervous. But this is very important. Just coming from someone who loves this university, who is a biology major, who is about to be an alumni, we cannot let this trickle down and become a snow, like it's this boulder. This is going to be a problem that if we do not address this now, we are going to be in chaos, and who knows how comfortable they're going to get with limiting the amount of courses that we can take and how brazen they will get with what we can and cannot study. So please, I encourage you to vote yes so we can at least try to put a stop to this and try to get our voices out there, because that's what we're here for. We're here to amplify the voices of students, and we represent the people in our colleges. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Hernandez. You're the maker. You have priority.
All right, so to address some of the concerns that came up, the surveys that were taken, those are going to be kept, I'm not going to say secret, there's another word, just to protect the faculty that partook into, thank you so much, that partook in that survey. Just because the reality is a lot of them are being faced with consequences if they do speak out or if they do speak on certain subjects. So we're not going to release that information and exactly how many responded, who responded, all of that. It was also said, oh man, I had it in my mind, but I was thinking about my placard. Trying to think of what you said. Oh yeah, they're trying to follow the law. Yeah, they're trying to follow the law to an extent. And if you kind of read what the law is and our Senate bill is, what we want is for them to strictly follow the law. We believe that that the new content course oversight and review policy is going above that and adding in extra precautions or measures to limit what can be said in a classroom. So we're saying you can still follow the law, but stick to exactly what Senate Bill 37 states. Don't add more to it. Don't take away from it. Go by what exactly it says. because right now it seems like they're just adding more to it. So that's what I have to say on that.
Senator Richard.
Point of personal inquiry, if we were to make an amendment to address all concerns addressed in the Senate, what would that look like?
You would just propose the amendment. We'll go into a discussion on the amendment, see if it passes or fails. If it passes or if it fails, if it passes, it directly approaches or affects the piece right now. So then it would go into the final piece, and it would be passed tonight. So amendments are applicable. It would just have to be presented and discussed. Senator Baker.
This is different from what Senator Richard was talking about the other day.
Yes.
Okay. I rise in favor of this piece telling you guys to vote yes on it. I think that censorship is important to talk about because, as you know, if we don't talk about history or learn about history, then we're going to repeat it. And it's not just in healthcare, like Sarah was talking about earlier. It's in all classes. So it's not that right now we're losing everything, but like Bobby was talking about earlier, with the St. Hamilton reference. And if you stand for death and you fall for everything, what are you standing for? Because you are elected by your different constituents to represent them. And if we have so many different constituents from different colleges here telling us that they want us to vote yes on this piece, they want to talk about the different ways that the higher administrations are limiting our classes, whether it's the different things that the professors are talking about in the books that we're reading, or the different ways that you're able to do things. I think that's important. And it's not so right now we're going to be able to change it. Because I don't know if you know, student government doesn't just pass legislation and boom, it goes into action. You know? It's just you voicing the voices of the students, saying that this is what the student body wants to do. Because they're taking our word as the 44,000 students that go to Texas Tech want to do what these 30, 40, 50 people in a smaller room want to do. So if you're only thinking about yourself and not your constituents, not the people that you go to school with, then I think that's the right decision to make here. Think about the bigger picture of things, the healthcare students, the people like Senator Duke was saying that can't learn X and Y chromosomes. I had Luke Dinsmore last semester, and he's serving as an interim biology chair, and he said that professors were cutting him all of last semester and had so many meetings about how their classes were getting censored. And I think that's something that we need to take into consideration when thinking about this piece, that it's not just biology, it's the bigger picture, if that makes sense.
Senator McCall.
I just wanted to say, as a chemical engineering student, I feel I have the credentials to speak on this, but when you are performing a statistical analysis, you do want to include the sample size, the margin of error, and things of that sort. Especially when you're making such a strong claim like you are, and you don't have that sort of data.
Senator McCall needs to face the chair.
Correct.
And you don't have that sort of data to back it up, then what do your statistics actually mean? Thank you.
Senator Alessio.
I think I stand in favor of this piece. I think we're in a really unique situation here where we can send this to Chancellor Creighton. As when he was in the Texas Senate, it was his piece. Texas Senate Bill 37 was his piece. So I think having the voice of 44,000 students telling him that we don't support it's something that's a direct effect of his piece and something that he is implementing due to a piece that he wrote. I think it's a really, really strong thing that we're able to do. Despite the fact that the faculty may not agree on it, despite the fact that statistics, that we're not presenting the exact statistics and all that data, if the testimony of not just fellow students, fellow Red Raiders, but your constituents are telling you that their classes are being gutted, they aren't able to learn what they're able to do, and they're scared of their degree not meaning anything, isn't enough to kind of sway your mind that we're representing the student body here, we're not representing what the faculty believe, we are telling Chancellor Creighton that we don't agree with him. And even then, just because something is law doesn't mean that it can't be censorship. Just because something is law doesn't mean that we should cower in fear of the fact that it is a law. We can still stand up for what we believe is right and what we believe is wrong. And if we believe that this law is wrong, all we're doing is saying that we do that. We're not overturning a law, we're not doing anything illegal. Just because it is the law does not mean that we are not able to say that we don't agree with it. I think we are in a very, very unique situation where Chancellor Creighton is the person that this is like going to directly because it was his piece in the Texas Senate. Thank you.
Senator Villegas.
I stand in favor of this piece. I kind of want to just echo everything that everyone else has said. Senator Alessio kind of summed it up perfectly. Chancellor Creighton was the primary author of this piece, and yet he therefore became the chancellor of our university and then implemented even stricter policies. If he wanted such policies, he should have put them in his own bill when he was in the Texas legislature. A personal anecdote, I am a biology student. This personally affects life sciences more than most, just because of the nature of what it does in real life and society. It devalues my degree. When people are going to see Texas Tech University Biology BS, they're going to see, oh, this person wasn't able to learn basic sexual or natural life sciences that do happen in real life regardless of any political affiliation or political feelings. I urge you to vote yes on this piece.
Senator Hernandez, you're the major, your priority.
Yeah, to kind of echo off of Senator Villegas, just because, you know, I'm not a biology, you know, major, I'm not a history major where this is directly impacting them. I'm a finance major, all right? But we all take the same core classes. I still took biology classes in my core. I still took all these other core classes that everybody else is going to have to take. So even if, you know, Senator Villegas sends his resume over and they're like, oh yeah, this, you know, Texas Tech biology, throw it away. They're going to see Texas Tech on it in general and throw it away. That's what is where it's headed. So just kind of putting that out there, they're going to know that everybody takes the same core classes at Texas Tech and affiliate the Texas Tech name with being a university that doesn't teach its students everything that they need to.
Senator Downs.
Madam President, may I address a question to Senator Hernandez through the chair?
You may.
Senator Hernandez, I just have a quick question regarding what you said was the main reason y'all wrote this piece was because of the issue with his curriculum review, correct?
Yeah.
Can I ask, like, I guess, 2 or 3 questions?
You may.
But according to, yes, I know Chancellor Creighton wrote this Senate bill, but in the bill it says in section, I had it and I lost it, 51.315, 2, the governing board and institution of higher education have the meetings assigned by section 61.003. At least once every 5 years, the governing body of each institution of higher education shall conduct a comprehensive review of the general education curriculum established by the institution. In reviewing institution's general curriculum, the governing body shall ensure courses in the curriculum are foundational and fundamental to a sound post-secondary education, are necessary to prepare students for civic professional life, equip students for participation in the workforce and in the betterment of society, and ensure a breadth of knowledge in compliance with applicable accreditation standards. So I guess my question is that we're required by state law to review, and that is what I believe he is doing in his memorandum. And so I guess my question in totality is where is this going over the top or going out of the scope of the Senate bill is my question.
Can I refer this question to my co-author, Zoe Whittigan?
You may.
So the current course content review process, it is to occur every single semester with every piece of course material that a professor uses. So a video they want to play in class, if it might touch on one of the topics that is to be restricted, they could face penalties up to being fired for showing the video without having it reviewed if it is later found that it should have been reviewed, and they're unable to teach it until it has been reviewed. So it goes above and beyond the law where it says every 5 years, in that it has to occur every single semester to every piece of course material.
So I guess to answer your question, we're not opposed to a course content overview. We're opposed to the extent that it's being taken to. That's what we're opposed to.
May I ask another question?
You may.
I'm just reading his memorandum, and where does it say that each semester he shall? Do y'all have like a, I guess, a citation of it or like proof of it? And Senator Whittigan can respond.
So this is from, I don't have anywhere to, I can link it to y'all later or something, but it's from the website where professors are directed to go to submit their course materials. Every material that they ever use, ever present in class, has to go through that portal. So that's not a once every 5 years thing. That's a every time they want to use it.
they came here to give me a higher education. At Texas Tech University, we have so many international students that come from all over the world to come here and to do research. Most importantly, our Tier 1 research institution is primarily ran by international students that come here to do the research under those professors. If we do not have the professors here to lead those research opportunities, then I foresee us losing like our Tier 1 research name. So that is just something that I wanted to bring up. A lot of people come to America for a higher education, so why have your education silenced and you don't, like, you're coming here not to learn anything. So I really urge you guys to vote yes on this piece. Thank you.
Senator Hagura.
Thank you very much, Madam President, and thank you, Sarah, for raising the issue of the international students. Most of the time, we as international students, we are not that speaking because we are some kind of being limited. These are very critical motion, and I'm in favor of this motion. Basically, I interact with so many students, especially the graduate students, who don't have voice to raise about their issues, and then contact with their professors here and there. Most of them are really affected. Some of them are supposed to go for the conference in May, but because of this issue, they are no longer going. So if you are trying to restrict the professor from teaching, from doing research, the main aim of a graduate students, the master's students, is to do research. And the foundation of every learning institution is research. If we don't have that kind of freedom to do our research, then that means in the near future, 10 years, then we will not be calling this institution Texas Tech, doing research, something like that. So I urge all the senators, on behalf of all other body students who are represented, please vote in the right for this.
Thank you. Senator Akinyeye.
Also, to add on to that point, international students and students who are also in-state or even out-of-state, we pay thousands of dollars to come and attend this institution to obtain a higher level of education. We are paying so much money to come here to have our education cut short, to be told that we can't learn specific things because one person or two people said that we can't. And then on top of that, just to add on to that though, the claim that one of our senators made that this is a wide claim, that a lot of people are not saying this, that this is such a broad statement. Even though majority of the people in this Senate room right now have stated the discrepancies that they have had on their own education, already goes to show that this is not a minor issue. This is an issue that affects not just the senators within the student body, but also everyone in general. I highly urge that if you as a senator are here, you are elected in this specific position to represent your constituents that you literally see right here at the right side of our Senate chamber. You're gonna see them right here and tell them that what they're saying is invalid. It makes absolutely no sense. I urge that you vote in favor of this piece. We deserve, as the American people, to have our voices heard. Immigrants, marginalized groups, and so many more people deserve to understand the education that they have invested within them. We have the power as a people to make change. But if our education is constantly being tampered with, then how are we going to be able to positively affect America? Thank you.
Thank you. Senator McCall.
I just want to say again, obviously I'm not in favor of this piece. Obviously I'm not in favor of this piece, but like, if you are also not in favor of this piece, just know you're not alone, and a lot of people that really wanted to come here today are currently with the governor of Texas right now, because if many of you do not know, he is hosting an event today, which I think is kind of bad because the piece is today, and a lot of people that would probably also be opposed to it couldn't make it today because they're at the governor's event. So yeah, just look at the statistics. Don't let those fool you. Sample size is not included, so we really don't have any more data with that. Thank you.
Senator Duke.
I just want to add, yes, I know the issue of like sample size is kind of being heavily debated, but we have a sample right here. We have constituents right here that is saying that what they're working so hard for is being impacted, and what they're studying is being impacted. That is all that should matter. We have so many personal stories that show, that prove that what is going on is
is making an impact. I get that there may not be a sample size, but there is data, and I'm sure once we get farther along, we can get more data, and we can get even more and more accurate sampling. But all that matters right now is that we have students. We have an article from Daily Torador. I hope I said that right. But they wrote a great article, and they interviewed students that did say that they were impacted. There was a student that they interviewed that is leaving tech, that is planning on leaving tech. That is not okay. That is not okay that we have people leaving this amazing university because of this. So even though you may feel like that this does not impact you personally, that should not matter. We are here to represent the students and have some empathy and have some feeling for the people that are being affected by this. So even if this doesn't affect you personally, which it will, even if it doesn't, it will, please vote yes, because we're here to represent students. And if the students want us to vote yes, vote yes. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Senator Baker.
Okay, I'm rising again in favor of this piece, but I'm also rising to make a motion that we should vote. Majority of people have already debated, and not that I want to stop other people from debating to suspend the rules, but if we're not on the same page, but if people already are saying the same topics or talking about the same things, then like Senator McCall said, some people aren't here today to debate the piece. They can come next Thursday and debate the piece during open forum if they would like to, or say their regressions with the piece or how they feel about it. But it's not like I said beforehand, we're saying that we want this intrusion to change or the amount of times the professor has to submit the materials to the class, the content of the class is going to change right then and there. There's certain steps that they have to go through for this to go into effect. So if we were to pass the piece today or the piece were to fail today, that wouldn't mean that it's not going to happen or we're not going to bring back up the same issues in the same topic, because as we're talking about having another conversation on the next session or the one after that, if it's not just us that going to affect more than us later on. But if we're standing for something right now, it means we're going to continue to go somewhere. So hopefully we're not going to have degrees that are worth nothing at the end of the day, and being a recreator will still be something that I'm so proud of when I graduate.
Senator Baker, were you wanting to make a motion for previous question?
Yeah, special previous question.
Do I have 5 seconds? It has been moved and seconded by Senator Joyce, Senator Plow, Senator Satar, Senator Sweden, Senator Villegas, Senator Duke to previous question. This motion is debatable. Debate can go 3 minutes in the affirmative, 3 in the negation, is undebatable, and requires a 2/3 majority vote to pass. Senator McCall.
I think it's just a little bit unfair that we are not
Merits
letting-
must stay within the motion to previous question. Do you want to continue debating or do you not continue debating? Senator Richard.
I would like to continue debating because instead of trying to go back and forth on yes or no, let's work together to see if we can amend this piece so that all of the concerns are addressed and we can still pass a piece and do our due diligence.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion on the motion to previous question? Seeing none. All those in favor of previous question, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no.
No.
Noes have it. Previous question fails. Is there any discussion? Senator Baker, yes.
It's a 2/3 majority, or yeah.
2/3 majority.
So it wasn't that close, but you are more than welcome to.
Yes. Division has been called and requested. All those in favor, please signify by rising. Favor of previous question. Let the record show 4 yes.
Can you clarify this? I'm sorry. This is more personal.
Stage.
Can you clarify for those that don't know what previous question is?
Previous question. Previous question means that we are stopping all debate on the resolution currently and moving to a final vote. So that means that if debate fails, or if previous question passes, we will no longer discuss this piece. And we move straight to a vote on whether or not we want to pass on third and final or fail on third and final. Is there anything further I can clarify? Thank you. All those in favor of stopping discussion, please signify by rising. Let the record show 14. All those opposed of stopping discussion, they want to continue debating, please signify by rising. To continue debating.
favor of debate?
You need 22.
Thank you. Please be seated and remain quiet in the chamber. All those who abstain, please rise. We're going to move to a more accurate way of voting. We're going to use our clickers. All those in favor, please signify by pressing green to previous question. Yes, Senator Baker.
Green is to cut off all debate, no is to continue talking.
Missing one, please check your clickers. Senator Sweden.
Maybe please move to a recess for 5 minutes for those of us fasting so we can get a quick snack and then continue debating among our peers, please.
Yes, ma'am, you got it.
That's a motion.
We have a motion currently on the floor. We must finish with it first.
My bad.
Please keep quiet in the chamber. We're still on air. On the negation, motion fails. We will not proceed forward with previous question. Is there any discussion?
Maybe please take a brief recess so those of us can break our fast and discuss among our
How long?
Like 5 minutes, 8 minutes.
It's been moved and seconded by Senator Baker to recess for 5 minutes. This motion is undebatable, amendable as to time only, and requires a majority vote. All those in favor of recessing for 5 minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. Ayes have it, motion passes. We shall recess and be back at 46, firmly. session. We shall proceed where we left. The last place we left was previous question failed. We are back on discussion on the floor. I urge the Senate, if you have any thoughts, please rise to present them to the chamber. Additionally, if you have any amendments, please make sure that you're suggesting those. That way we can make the most efficient and effective decision tonight. I saw Senator McCall's placard first. You're first up.
I just want to say, right before we were going to the previous question, I think it was said that, like, obviously there is a lot of support with the piece, but is this group randomized? When you're doing a statistical analysis, you want to make sure that your group is randomized to make sure that you're getting the best data. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Jameson.
So, I once again summarize in approval of this piece. I think it's completely irrelevant, the sample set data that we're taking for this piece. I think most important part of this piece is all the testimony that we heard from the students tonight. It doesn't matter if we think we're going to change the opinion of everybody up on high. It doesn't really matter if we think we're going to change the opinion of the chancellor. What ultimately matters is our duty to the students and our duty as senators to vote in our right conscience for what we know is right. Thank you.
Senator Parvathanani.
So I'm going to say that even though the sample size, I understand that seems to be an issue, all students at the end of the day do not want to compromise the education that they're getting. So even if they are taking out certain topics in classes, which is a really big concern, no student wants to not learn a topic that's going to be important for them in their professional career. As an SI leader, I've worked with a lot of these professors in classes that have had these changes occur, and I've noticed firsthand how stressful it is not only for those professors, but also for the students taking those classes, because they notice that they're not able to gain the information they need for their professional schools that they plan on pursuing. And I also want to bring this attention to the fact that research is also being impacted because of the fact that students and professors are not allowed to use certain words or certain things in their research, which when they go to conferences to present this works, makes it seem that Texas Tech University is not showcasing their best friend and looking at topics and issues as they are in the world. And I also want to say that a lot of different schools within the TTU system is being affected by this policy, and I think it's important for us as TTU to make the change to be able to start a change cycle and talk about how these issues really impact all of the students.
Senator Akinye.
I also want to add a point that diversity is important in every aspect of everything that we do. America is a melting pot for a reason. People from all different tribes of the world come here, especially to Texas Tech University, like we said many, many, many times, to gain their education. So it's important to understand that we should understand different perspectives and different ideologies and different opinions and beliefs, whether or not you agree with them or not. Statistical data right now at this point has only gone so far. Doesn't matter what you agree, whether you're conservative, whether you're a Democrat, or whatever the heck. We deserve to understand how our world functions and how that should be incorporated into our education to make being here as students so much more accessible. And we don't want to become an institution that our research is just completely invalid because of the law and legislation that we've made. So it's important to understand that there's not just one type of person in this world. We share this world with billions of other people. Please be on the right side of history and vote in favor of this piece.
Thank you. Senator Lee.
Hey y'all, I would just like to rise in opposition to this piece. As a current pre-medical student and a true scholars research participant, I am currently taking biology, chemistry, physics, and I have not really experienced any of the concerns that was brought up. It may be that I might have had a different professor or a different classes than the class concerns brought up, but I personally haven't experienced it. I've also taken a humanities class last semester, and I also have not experienced any censorship in that class. And secondly, I'm a second generation immigrant. I have experienced South Korean public school system, and compared to that, I think the current Texas Tech system is I'm very satisfied and content with the system, and I am very happy with the education that I'm receiving. So I would just like to rise in opposition to further.
Thank you. Senator Rivera.
I rise in favor of this piece. This is a random sample size. No one of us come from the same background. We all have different approaches to how we approach things. I'm a first generation student, and even though I'm engineering, and this will never probably affect my class
And then for your physics and biology classes, biology, the only place it was really impacted was any section that has to do with gender. So I'm not a biologist, I study history, so I'm not sure what biology class you're taking, but that is likely why you haven't seen it impact yourself. But like many other people said, I would hope that you would think about some other students in your field who are having to deal with issues relating to X and Y chromosomes as they come through biology 1 and things like that.
Senator Mao.
Yeah. Let's talk about statistics and data analytics as a whole. This is, we talked the whole time about how much the statistics mean. Firstly, that's not a random sample size. If we're not a random sample size, they're not a random. Okay? Everybody here is for a reason. We all have selection bias that's built into it. Almost the survey that was provided doesn't have any any actual factual backing to it. They would need to provide that for us to actually take that into consideration. Secondly, we talk about the graduate students. Graduate students are not choosing this, or not choosing this institution because of that policy. They're choosing it because of the outrageous visas right now. You cannot get to this country because of other reasons, and that's why the statistics are low. Relevant. The statistics are low for that exact reason, and this was discussed in the actual last faculty senate meeting. We discussed the 50% graduation student rate, and they said it is more than likely to do with the fact that there is it's incredibly difficult to get international visas right now, not for the fact. And it's not just us. Lots of institutions across the country have that 50% or estimated 50%. So, enough with the data, okay? The stuff provided doesn't paint the full picture. It's not going to. We would need a full academic study to actually prove that, okay? That said, there is definitely merit to having each one of the personal experiences. I commend y'all for being here. It takes a lot to come up and talk in front of a lot of people about the personal experience you've had. This censorship has been going on since the very beginning of last semester. That's why the stuff has been brought up. The review process has been to eliminate false information. Okay? What you determine is false is up to you and your own background and your own political thing. This is their the system is has the legal ability to sit here and examine what is taught in this university to deem if it is actually accurate and if it will provide a world-renowned education. Let's not talk about statistics anymore. They're not relevant.
Senator Joyce.
I think that the statement that is correct, that we all have our own different perception of the world and the facts, and that is the core of this piece, is saying that we don't want several appointed members of the Board of Regents or one appointed chancellor making a decision on what is fact or false. They're elected politicians. We have researchers and academics, hundreds of thousands of people on campus who are doing research in their field, who I think should be trusted to be the experts that get the most relevant information, the most factual, the most non-biased. I think that's just the core of this piece, is that we're saying, no, we don't want an unelected group of the Board of Regents getting to decide what's true and what's not. That's a slippery slope to go down. And that's kind of the whole point of the censorship, is saying that we want you to go at the core. Yes, we agree that you have the legal authority and the legal right and the legal purpose to review all these classes, but we want you to be unbiased and try to be as selective as possible in this process. If you're deciding to cut courses just because they might or may not fit your own personal political agenda, political ideology.
Senator McBroom.
I rise in favor of this bill, but I just want to point a few things out. But I think that me and many other people that are agreeing with this bill, we do understand that it is a state law. But what the Senate Bill 37 says is that universities are required to appoint a board that oversees and yearly reviews course curriculum. I think what we are arguing about, us in favor, is that the chancellor is taking an extra step, meaning that he is constantly having course review of any course material that is presented, and so he's taking that extra step and not following the law strictly. So maybe if we could make an amendment that urges the chancellor to make an amendment that requires them to strictly follow Texas Senate Bill 37, that could be a good compromise.
The chair would like to propose a recess by chance so that we can iron that out. So that is an option as well. Yes, Senator Whittakin.
Our resolution already says to strictly follow the letter of Senate Resolution, of Texas Senate Resolution 37. Senate Bill 37, sorry.
Thank you, Senator Mao.
Yeah, so as y'all can tell, this is a long piece. There's a lot more to it than just a simple saying, hey, Chancellor, fix this, please. We're attacking the faculty. We are attacking regard to what Michael said, Senator McBroom, in regard to what he just said, we're not, these people were appointed for a reason, and I agree that there's definitely a risk of censorship there. There's definitely a risk of we're having these own people, personal bias coming in. But what we're doing now is not helping that actual thing. We should be writing a piece that directly only attacks them. We should not be attacking our faculty. We shouldn't be doing anything of the sort with that matter. So we should be maybe, and I agree, we should really put this on second reading and review it and then come back at it. But at this point, we should really sit here and think about an amendment that would strike out anything that has to do with the faculty and having to hold them accountable, when in reality it's the chancellor and the board of regents that we're actually worried about.
Point of information.
State your point.
Can I ask a senator now a question?
You may.
Where specifically in the piece do you think it attacks the faculty?
Therefore, it says in the therefore be resolved. Up until 4. Okay, the point I'm getting to here is when we get to the therefore be it resolved, we're talking about the merits of this actual piece here. What is it doing? It's asking the university formally reaffirm its commitment to academic freedom, which I agree with completely, by publicly clarifying that the lawful instruction of any topic remain permissible. The whole point of the law is restricting that. Okay? Now, I get that, that's not the faculty yet. When represented in an academic and non-advocatory manner consistent with pre-existing disciplinary standards. And one more. So, and going back to the faculty part here, the subject's broad academic areas to scrutiny, which is in the therefore be resolved, doesn't actually have any merit there, I guess is the point I'm making. I would need a minute to revisit my notes to give you a better answer to this question because I'm kind of lost at this point, but I will flex an answer at that point.
Thank you. Senator Sweden.
I just find it kind of funny how we're just like scared of the law. Like this isn't saying let's break the law and like do this, whatever. This is just saying let's go and actually do what the law is saying and not create like so many unnecessary restrictions that go beyond the law. I just don't understand it because a lot of people break the law. Like you break the law by jaywalking, a lot of people underage drink, and you guys aren't scared of the law when that happens, so why are we scared now?
Point of order, Senator Sweden. Please remain within the merits. Senator Richard.
Finally, okay. I move to amend line 96 where it states the university to revise its course content oversight and review policy to ensure that review, to change it to state, implores the university and Chancellor Creighton to review and revise the course content oversight and review policy to ensure that review,
Can you please bring that up here? Thank you. Do I have a second? It is moved and seconded by Senator McBroom to amend the piece by one moment. Please remain quiet in the chamber. Striking out.
You're still on the radio.
It has been moved and seconded to amend the piece by, on line 96, inserting behind university and Chancellor Creighton, including, so whereas if it passed, it read, university and Chancellor Creighton to review and revise the course content oversight. This motion is debatable, and amendable to the second degree. Debate must stay within the merits of the motion to amend by adding and Chancellor Creighton to review and revise. Is there any discussion? Senator Jameson.
Yeah, I would recommend support of this amendment. I think it's a more direct statement of basically who we want to address this to and what we want done. So I think if we can make the piece as succinct and direct as possible, I think that is only going to save the student.
Senator Hernandez.
Yeah, I agree with this amendment. I think that it addresses Senator Mao's concerns very well. Maybe we could have been a little bit more specific. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. Hopefully this amendment can fix that.
Any other discussion on the motion to amend? Senator Duke.
I know one of the concerns has been the statistics within it. If maybe maybe like the sample size and other things that would make it more
Point of
precise.
order. Sorry, we're limited to the merits of the amendment right now. You can propose another amendment whenever we get back to the main question.
Okay.
Yes, right now we're just addressing and Chancellor Creighton to review. The addition of Chancellor Creighton. Is there any other discussion on this amendment? Seeing none, all those in favor of amending, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no.
No.
Ayes have it, amendment passes. In the piece on line 96, it will say University and Chancellor Creighton to review and revise its course content. ... Is there any other discussion on the main motion back on the floor? Senator Duke.
Okay, sorry.
Please rise when speaking.
Okay, I know a big kind of worry with those that want to vote no on this is due to the statistics added onto the resolution not being as specific as they want it to be. So I'm just wondering if maybe if the sample size were more or was added, if just a little bit more detail was added to the statistics and to the surveys that they did, just if any extra information could be added to the statistics, if those that are currently opposed if that would kind of make them willing to vote yes on this piece. That's kind of basically it. So wanting to amend it so we have more specific statistics within it.
Senator Baker.
I know previously Senator Hernandez said that they didn't want to release names or departments of any of the faculty that aren't included in the survey. So maybe a way that we could include data that doesn't include the names is I know for IRB we can't do anything that would say who did it. So if we did a survey, it would have to be fully anonymous so we couldn't track it back to whoever filled out the survey. So maybe if we wanted to include any type of data like a sample size or how many faculty, how long they've have worked at a higher institution, excuse me, it's not just Texas Tech, then we could send out a link or do it a different way. So maybe that will be a way to include it. So Senator Cole and then Senator Mal will be happy with the different data that would be included in the piece because we're already making amendments. So we can come back and do that a little later. I'm a believer of science, sorry, so I don't need a specific number or data for you to tell me. If you tell me it works, then I believe you. I don't ask my doctor how many patients are on certain medicine or what's the percentage of the medicine helping me. I just believe it. So I'm just believing that they said it so they have responses to back it up. That's all.
Thank you. The chair would also like to take note that while we do have these numbers, because the numbers do not disrupt the merit of the piece, numbers can be stricken as well. It will not change the course of action of the piece, though numbers do make it stronger. Senator Hernandez.
We can add the sample size to the student survey, but I just wouldn't want to do that with the faculty one, just because I refer back to Zoe Whittaker. She can take the floor.
Senator
We
Whittaker.
actually can't provide the sample size for the professor one, just because I was given that survey from a professor who had conducted that through professors already over Christmas break, and he provided me with a redacted version of the survey that does not include any numbers beyond the percentage and the responses. So I could ask again, but there would be no timely way or assurance that I would be provided with that information. I can, however, provide the sample size for the student survey, which Andrew and I did.
Senator McCall.
I just want to clarify that it's not just the sample size. The piece lacks a lot of statistical data, including randomization too. If you give a survey to a certain demographic group, they're more likely to vote the same way rather than if the test was randomized. Thank you.
Senator Hernandez.
I refer to Zoe Whittaker. Senator Whittaker.
Senator Whittaker.
I would like you to look at any statistic that has ever gone through the Student Government Association and look for randomization or these high-level things that you find in an academic study that you would not find in a student survey for the Student Government Association.
Senator Jameson.
Motion to refer to previous question.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Richard, Senator Paul, Senator Sweden, Senator Villegas, Senator Baker to previous question. This motion is debatable. Debate must stay within the merits of should we move to a vote or not move to a vote, is not amendable, requires a 2/3 vote. Senator McBroom.
So I think when everyone walked in the chamber this evening, I think a lot of people were already in their ways whether they were going to vote yes, whether they were going to vote no. I think we could sit here for another hour and a half and talk in circles. I don't think that's greatly going to change a lot of our senators' opinions. So I think moving to the previous question would be a smart decision to make.
Senator Alessio.
There's still an amendment that can be made, especially with statistics. We've been talking about statistics and adding the sample size. So if we go to previous question, we cannot amend the piece, I believe, correct?
Correct.
We cannot amend the piece, and that sample size still can be amended and make the piece stronger. So if we go to previous question, we can't amend it. I say we should amend it, and then we can go to previous question again. But I am against going to previous question right now because I believe we should amend the sample size for the student survey.
Senator Baker.
I'm in favor of going to previous question. Last year we had a piece on transportation and buses. They said a certain percentage of students were in favor of cutting the buses after a certain time, and then whenever we asked for how many students filled out the survey, there was 300 students that filled out the survey. There's over 44,000 students every year, 32,000 general and undergrad college, so they use the buses more. So if only 300 people filled out the survey last year, if we were able to pass that piece and we weren't worried about statistics, then why does it matter to us now?
Senator Jameson.
So, I'm in favor of moving to the previous question because I think we've already discussed the merits of the piece, kind of round and round. And I think that for the most part, the piece is, I would argue that the piece is strongly worded and pretty clear in its intentions in its final 2 paragraphs, in calling for us as a university to stick strictly to the law and keep with previous disciplinary standards. So I think it's not necessary for us to add more specific details with the surveys. I think it's sufficient for this piece, and I think the piece is clear in its intentions, and so I think that we should look at this question.
Senator Akinye.
I also would like to move to previous question because just to add, in regards to sample size and statistical data, whenever you are giving out a survey to anybody, not everybody in that sample size or even outside of that sample size is going to
Senator Akinye, the merit line is a little thin here, so let's make sure we're staying on the line of if we're moving or not. Is there any discussion? Probably than any.
Point of information, is there a way that we could let this piece go to second reading and sent to all committees instead of third reading and final passage?
Correct, yes, we can. We are able to move this back to second reading. We would have to fill the previous question. Senator Hernandez can remove it. However, I believe that we can refer it to committee, but Senator Hernandez would have to withdraw it, or someone else would have to move to send it back. So that's also an option. Is there any other discussion on the previous question? Seeing none. All those in favor, please vote via clickers.
Again, green is previous question, that is to end all debate. It will force a vote on this legislation, and then red is to continue discussing or amending.
Can you repeat that?
Red
Voting-
means no previous question. Green means yes previous
Green
question.
is voting to cut off all debate. If the Greens have it, we will go straight into the vote on the actual piece. If you vote red, that means you want to continue discussing it or, again, explore other options with this legislation.
previous question passes. We shall now proceed with the final vote on Senate Resolution 61.131. Vote in the polls. This is a majority vote, just for a reminder. Missing 3. Missing 1. In the affirmative, motion passes. Thank you. Next on, we shall proceed to second reading pieces. Senate Resolution 61.137. Senator Quah. Please quiet in the chambers. Yes, Senator. You may. Senate Resolution 61.137. Senator Fitch.
Madam President, I rise to reintroduce Senate Resolution 61.137 stating the sentiments of the Student Senate regarding degree plan for pre-tech teach programs. May I approach the podium?
You may.
Happy Thursday. My name's Addison Fitch for those that I haven't met. And I'm a College of Education Senator. Last week, me and Reese Walker, or the last Senate meeting, me and Reese Walker made this piece to discuss how we can change degree plans for pre-tech teach students. The program basically means that your first 2 years you're going through prereqs, and then your second 2 years in the tech teach program. We want to implement a program where we can retain students going from their sophomore to junior year. Oftentimes we see a decrease in our program. So implementing a basically hands-on experience with classroom discovery program is what we want to implement. There's a class similar to this. It's called the Early Literature Program. You take it your freshman year semester, first semester. This is in the kindergarten and first grade classroom. But if students are interested in secondary ed or higher elementary, this class does not help do that, so we want them to get their hands-on experience early. So we're working on implementing a piece or a class similar to Early Lit with the College of Education Dean. Madam President, I move to place Senate Resolution 61.137 stating the sentiments, on third and final passage.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Haguro to place Senate Resolution 61.137 onto third reading and final passage. This motion is debatable, is amendable to the second degree, and requires a majority vote. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, vote in the polls. Missing 1. 40 in the affirmative, motion passes. Senate Resolution 61.138. Senator Jameson. May you come to the podium and disclose why?
Sorry?
May you come to the podium and disclose why, as it was not previously cleared. You can come here. You don't have to. You have to stay there.
Madam President, I rise to reintroduce Senate Resolution 61.138, stating the sentiments of the Student Senate regarding the creation of a formal collaborative in-person and online alumni ComC student mentorship program. May I please approach the podium?
You
I am Yemi Akinyeye. Just wanted to say good job on that piece. Our voices deserve to be heard regardless of what you believe. Now to talk about this piece, once again, I'm just reintroducing it to talk about creating a peer to alumni mentorship program. Obviously, as you know, a lot of COMC students do not have the opportunity to immediately get a job once getting out of college just because of the lack of resources sometimes that our college does not provide. So this piece is just passing something that allows alumni and graduated people who are already in the media industry to actually collaborate with students here in the MCOM building to give them opportunities to be able to actually get into the industry and gain those opportunities, internships, and discussions to further propel themselves in their career. We are planning to move this to also not just in person, but also an online program that is incorporated through the college and incorporated into the curriculum. Just to get students involved, and we're already we're already creating a meeting with our dean just to get this thing passed. And Madam President, I move to place Senate Bill 61.138 on third reading and final passage.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Baker to place Senate Resolution 61.138 onto third reading and final passage. This motion is debatable, amendable to the second degree, requires a majority vote. Is there any discussion? Discussion? Seeing none, vote in the polls. Missing two. Senator Anoka. With 40 in affirmative, motion passes. Senate Resolution 61.139. Senator Safuna.
Madam President, I rise to reintroduce Senate Resolution 61.129, setting the sentiments of the Student Senate regarding the need for priority access to early head start programs for graduate student parents. May I please have the floor?
You may.
So this resolution addresses a structural barrier facing student parents who are graduate students at Texas Tech University. So many graduate students live on limited stipends while balancing rigorous academic programs. And for international students, first generation students, and those without family support in the US, securing a reliable and affordable childcare can be extremely difficult. Without it, student parents risk delaying graduation or even withdrawing from their programs. So this resolution simply asks the university to consider priority admission to early Head Start for eligible graduate students who demonstrate financial hardship and limited family support. So it also calls for clearer referral pathways and coordination to ensure equitable access while remaining compliant with the guidelines that are already in place. So this is not about a new program, it's about improving access to an existing resource. So supporting these students who are parents will actually strengthen retention, protect research productivity because most of them do research, and it will also reinforce what Texas Tech believes, which is commitment to student success. So Madam President,
yes, Senator.
are we placing it on the third reading? I place this resolution to third and final passage.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Whittakin to place Senate Resolution 61.139 onto third reading and final passage. This motion is debatable, amendable, requires a majority vote. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, vote the polls. Yes, Senator Richard.
Wait, personal privilege, thank you. I'm taking search real quick.
You may excuse for the chamber. 38 in favor, motion passes. Senate Resolution 61.140.
Madam President,
Senator Whittakin.
I rise to reintroduce Senate Resolution 61.140, stating the sentiments of the Student Senate regarding increased advertisement of the Star Parties at Three Rivers Ranch Astronomy Campus through local schools and social media. May I approach the podium?
You may.
Hi guys, I'm not going to keep you here for another hour. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about the Three Rivers Ranch Astronomy Campus that's located in Caldwell County. So Texas Tech acquired that land about 2 years ago, and since then they've been continuing to do educational star parties that are free for the local community, and we're just asking that we continue to reach out more to these rural communities that don't always have the best access to STEM education. So it's just a great way to get high school students from rural areas involved in science and also get them interested in tech. So, Madam President, I motion to place this bill on third reading and final passage. Resolution.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Lujan to place Senate Resolution 61.140 onto third reading and final passage. This motion is debatable, amendable, requires a majority vote. Is there any discussion? Vote on the polls. Missing one. In the affirmative, motion passes. Senate Resolution 61.141. Senator Alessio.
Madam President, I rise to reintroduce Senate Resolution 61.141, stating sentiments of the Student Senate regarding promoting public health and hygiene through the provision of toilet seat cover papers in public restrooms at Texas Tech.
You may first put it.
May I first put it?
Yeah.
Well, this piece is pretty straightforward. It's about getting toilet seat covers in some of the bathrooms. As we all know, toilets are pretty nasty, and toilet seat covers are a pretty good solution to that. So if you want to be cleaner and just have to deal with a less disgusting bathroom and have a more hygienic experience, vote on this piece.
Thank you. It has been.
Madam President, I move to place this legislation on third reading and final passage.
It has been moved and seconded to place Senate Resolution, moved and seconded by Senator Hernandez, to place Senate Resolution 61.141 onto third reading and final passage. This motion is debatable, amendable, and requires a majority vote. Is there any discussion? Vote on the polls. Senator Lansdale. Missing 4. Missing 1. In the affirmative, motion passes. Senate Resolution 61.142. Senator Villegas.
I rise to reintroduce Senate Resolution 61.142, stating the sentiments of the Student Senate regarding the censure of 12 senators for failure to meet requirements and their additional obligations and color code rules and restrictions. May I approach the President?
You may.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. It's wonderful to see you all still here after our long debate session. Rule 6, Section 24 of the Rules of the Senate states that senators who do not meet the requirements each semester will be under membership review and subject to impeachment. The membership requirements were set in the very first meeting, April 24th, 2015. 2025 with Senate Resolution 61.01. Author 2 pieces of actual legislation, 1 piece of congratulatory, attend 2 outreach events and 3 community service hours, as well as meet with the internal vice president. The 12 senators who have failed to meet that are listed as mentioned in the previous meeting. I move to amend line 1.
Senator Villegas, there's not a move to third reading yet.
You have to move it.
We can't amend before.
Oh, I apologize. I move to send this piece to third reading and final passage.
It is moved and seconded by Senator Joyce to place Senate Resolution 61.142 into third reading and final passage. Debatable, amendable, requires majority vote. Senator Villegas.
I move to amend line 125 as well as 43 and line 53 to remove Senator Hagura and change it from 12 to 11.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Sufuna to place, to amend the piece by amending line 1, 25, 43, and 53 to ensure that the number is 11 instead of 12 and that Senator Hagura is stricken from the piece. This motion is debatable, amendable, requires a majority vote. Yes, Senator Alessio.
Friendly amendment, also line 20, it says 12 instead of 11.
Thank you. Duly noted. Thank you. Senator Joyce.
Does that
I
pass?
move to amend the amendments to strike it down to 10 since Senator Gott has resigned, and to remove Senator Gott from line 30.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Sweden to amend the amendment by adding Senator Gott and onto line 30 to strike it down to 10 so that it remains in line. Senator Sweden.
Can I move to amend the amend?
No, we
No.
cannot.
No,
It's
we
only
cannot.
second degree. Is there any discussion on the motion to amend the amendment by including Senator Gott? Senator Alessio.
Stand against it, I think, hold on, a question for her. Did she resign this semester?
Yes,
Last semester?
she's resigned.
She still did a year points last semester. That's it. We should
Doesn't
still,
matter.
still face it. That's it.
Can't be censured if you're not in the Senate.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of amending the amendment by adding line 10 and Senator Gott, please say aye. All opposed, please say no.
No.
Ayes have it, motion passes. The motion now on the floor is to amend the piece by including striking Senator Gott, striking Senator Hagura, and changing the number from 12 to 10. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of amending, please say Senator Sweden.
I have another amendment. Can we strike Senator H from line 53, please?
From line, say that again?
Line 53.
It's already been
It's already been
That's
stricken.
right.
Yes, it's already stricken. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the amendment, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. Ayes have it, motion passes. Names are so stricken. Is there any discussion on the main piece for censure? Senator Villegas.
I would like to note that the Rules Administration Committee deliberately went through each and every individual on this list to confirm that their requirements were not met, as well as subpoenas court records with signed affidavits of senators who signed that they did not meet these requirements as additional proof.
Yes, and those have been verified with the Supreme Court as well. Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, please vote in the polls. Missing one. Senator Morris. In the affirmative, motion passes. Senate We should now proceed to the consent calendar. If you're presenting a consent calendar piece, please come to the front of the podium, lining up in the order of which you are to present. Only have two.
Today's a good day.
Senate Resolution 61.150.
So this congratulatory piece is just congratulating Jacob Rodriguez on his great season this past season. It lists his stats, all the great things he did, and then all the achievements that he got, all the rewards that he got towards the end of the season. And then I don't know if you guys know his story. I'm sure most of us do. He just has a great story that's influenced, I'm sure, us as students, and then making us want to go to Texas Tech football games. So that's also great. And it's just congratulating him on all his achievements, and then just wishing him the best of luck in the NFL.
Thank you. Senate Resolution 61.151.
Hi guys, Senate Resolution 61.151 is stating the sentiment of the Student Senate congratulating the Rawls College of Business on the celebration of its 25th anniversary's namesake contribution. So I think that this is something that should be recognized. I was on LinkedIn and I saw that they had a whole celebration for this, and I thought that it was great. And so with that, Madam President, I move to place Senate Resolution 61.150 through 61.151 to third reading and final passage.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator McBroom to place Senate Resolution 61.150 through 61.151 onto third reading and final passage. This is a reminder that these pieces must pass with 100% unanimous. If there is any reason that we should vote or discuss on a piece independently, please rise now to take that piece out. Senator Hernandez.
I asked to be added as co-author to Senate Resolution 61.152.
Co-author or co-sponsor?
Co-author.
Senator Freybacher, do you accept this co-author?
That's the other piece.
Oh, do you accept? Friendly amendment noted.
I think we need to discuss J-Ross, the list.
Is there any reason we should pull pieces out separately to vote on it? Beautiful. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? Just kidding. We have a quicker vote. Please vote for the wall.
President's field.
We're still on air.
With 100% unanimous in favor, motion passes. At this time, is there any member of the student government session may make a relevant announcement to the chamber? Senator Joyce.
I forgot to give this in my committee report for B&F, but just so you know, next week, whenever the appropriations bill is on second reading, it is open for amendments from the floor, and these student orgs have the opportunity to contact their student representatives and have them make their case on your behalf. So just so you know, you may be contacted by student orgs. It hasn't happened in the last couple of years, but just so you're aware, you might be contacted by a student org. To amend from the floor, just so you're all aware of that possibility.
Senator Downs.
If you walked in late, please sign in. It would really help Melanie.
Please, I use that whenever I do the attendance. So unless you want to be marked absent whenever I put those in, please do that.
Especially if you showed up late and obviously didn't send a absence.
Thank you. Any other announcements? Senator Baker.
Guys, as Thomas said earlier, voting is important. Primary elections end on the 3rd. That is Tuesday. If you're like me, you believe that you're London, you can vote limited ballot. If you go to the elections office, you're going to be registered in London, and then you can go back and register at home. But tomorrow's the last day for early voting, so if you want to go, you got to go to the elections office before 5. It's Google information, guys. So everybody, please go vote.
Your civic duty. Vote. Senator Mao.
Just a reminder that at the end of the next meeting, we're going to have the safety walk. So bring some comfortable shoes with you. It's going to go all the way across campus. There's going to be a lot more than just us there. There will be staff, faculty, representatives from every asset of the university, or facet of the university. So make sure you're there. And I highly encourage everyone to do it.
Senator Richard.
And Paul Brady.
Definitely. So a little bit from Pageant World coming up. We actually were able to get a bunch of fundraisers going.
So keep doing what you're doing outside of the Senate chamber and in the Senate chamber. And with that being said, I move to adjourn this meeting.
It has been moved and seconded